How's it going? This is Chris with Chris's Comments. Happy Friday. It's March 26, 2021. It's Friday. Friday! Of course, I'm working it, but that's beside the point. There's a little bit of reactions going on with the president's press conference that took place yesterday. And what I'm noticing once again is another one-sided point of view, whether you're a Democrat demonizing everything that the Republicans are doing, or a Republican demonizing everything that Biden and the Democrats are doing. Nobody's really looking at what the middleman, what the little guy is seeing. Okay, a normal guy like myself, you and I, the working class. So, once again, here I am with Chris's Comments, a side of common sense on common ground, no matter what the subject, and this subject being the press conference. He says the vaccines will be out on Monday. Everybody's qualified. I'm hoping so. We'll see. Because speaking from a guy that has no problem with vaccinations, I can never stand the fact that I have not been qualified. I'm not a minor. I don't have a health condition where COVID will help finish the job. I'm not sickly, and I'm not a senior citizen. I'm in my 40s. Latter 40s, but I'm not there yet. So I've been on hold this entire time while they've been fumbling with, while the government's been fumbling with the vaccines, going to counties where nobody's using them, going to companies, stores and everything that have been putting them in refrigeration, pharmaceutical stores where they've been put into refrigeration that wasn't cold enough to keep it valid. So hopefully those things have already been snuffed out, and everything's going to where we can, normal people like me can actually use them. Immigration, he's got this thing about not wanting to show anything of what he's doing yet until HHS, the Health and Human Services, is fully set up. And I can respect that. That makes sense. He just started, so that's all fine and dandy. I know a lot of people are saying it's a crisis and all this good stuff. Well, coming from the little guy, coming from somebody that's not really anything, just a working man, you could call it a crisis. You don't have to call it a crisis. Just handle your business. Okay? Just take care of this shit. Take care of the stuff. Got a bunch of defenseless, homeless children, migrants. Take care of them. And we got oncoming families. Take care of them also. Especially the ones that can actually provide proof of who they are and, be vetted. It shouldn't even be that big of a deal, if for a child. You got them coming over as old as 16, but they're still minors. And you got them coming as young as 9 and or 6 sometimes. What the hell kind of a background do you need? You don't really, what kind of Capone lifestyle do you think those kids, a 6-year-old was doing, or even a 16-year-old for that matter? It just doesn't make sense. So for right now, they're all in temporary holding cells in the Border Patrol, and I've already brought that up the first time. My main concern is the adult member staffers, the adult staff members that are trespassing against these children, even sexually trespassing against them, and then blaming it on the older kids. But we'll see what that's about. Hopefully, everything will come to light soon enough. Pulling people out of the Middle East, out of Afghanistan and the Middle East. I think it's good after 20 years. This is 20 years. It's almost that time. You know, September will be 20 full years. One thing that was brought up, there are soldiers over there that weren't even born when 9/11 happened. There's 18 and 19-year-olds there, and they weren't even born yet. But yet they're over there fighting in Afghanistan over something that occurred 20 years ago with their ringleader, Osama bin Laden, already taken out. You know? So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of chaos that's going to come out of that. Or if there's going to be any more hate from the Middle Easterners. I have no doubt that somebody does. There's always somebody that does hate. But I'm really not sure if it's going to be as big of a security threat any more than I think it's going to be something that our country could just, dust the shoulders off to. One big possibility, however, that is striking a lot of concern. Possible war with North Korea. You know, they've always tested the U.S. and our allies and people with the UN with their missiles. They're constantly launching missiles that either blow up in midair or just tank into the ocean. And it's always an excuse that they're trying to build intercontinental ballistic missiles, or they already built them. They're just so old and torn up and worn out that they're just sending them out to blow up in the air or tank into the ocean to get rid of them. That's all understandable, I guess, but it's still a huge concern, given that they're friends with the CCP. The CCP, who so far is just causing trouble for their own people. The Three Gorges River Dam, just allowing it to burst instead of trying to preserve it, flooding out and murdering 200,000 people by drowning them, their own citizens, the whole gerrymandering thing where they're running people out of their homes, off of their farmland, and then, paving over it, all of their lands. Again, China's own citizens are being forced out of their homes. And everybody right now is just looking at this garbage that they're doing to their people. However, there are some trading posts all over the world where China has occupancy, and they're placing military bases right next door or in the general vicinity of those docks and trade posts. And that's the huge concern, because of the simple fact that, if any kind of military confrontation, some kind of combative confrontation occurs, well, they could actually be ready to hit us. They're set up. They're stationed all over the world. They're military. No differently than... Now, some people are going to say, well, that's no different than America. Well, America has military bases, but America also has embassies. America has, foundations to help people. There's no such thing as a CCP, Habitat for Humanity. There's no such thing as a North Korean Amnesty International. Okay, it's just not there. We have it, and our allies have it. So we do have military bases, but we also have shelter centers. We also have embassies to work with trade and business in a legal, legitimate way, not this sketchy garbage that's going on right now with the CCP. And it's not even China itself, it's the CCP. And again, they're friends with North Korea, not so much the citizens, but the leaders there. Needless to say, if any kind of confrontation actually stirs this time or next time or whenever time North Korea is launching their missiles again, it's pretty obvious that they're going to get backup from China or the CCP, and they're going to get backup, who are also going to get backup from Putin, and the Russian army. And that's going to be a huge problem. Now, Biden is going to try to do some kind of talk with them. So far, his ambassadors, they're making it clear right now that no crap is going to be put up with. And for that kind of information, you might want to check out, I think it's called NTD, China in Focus. Okay, NTD, the letter N as in nickel, T as in Tom, D as in Daniel, China in Focus. They have a pretty good grasp on what's going on over there, and the 1-2s that are being thrown down, and the decisions that are being made, and the possible outcomes of war, or just simply bad deals, bad relations, good relations, and peace. Wherever that the prism, wherever the measure, whatever side of the wherever you land on, whatever side it lands on, the news will be told. And that's just the one on the top of my head right now, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, now comes the personal view of what this nobody that doesn't have, that's not choosing a side, that's not demonizing another side, even if I did choose. From this working man's point of view, just nobody who doesn't even have a podcast is just saying this on the phone and just posting it out there. Just this nobody here. Biden, you could tell he was stumbling a lot. You can tell he was a little confused and a little lost on what he was saying, and he had to revert back to what he was saying in the beginning because he sort of lost the point. And that's understandable given how old he is. He put on a big smile saying, "I will do a second term." And that sounds cool. Sounds Joe cool, obviously. But I honestly believe by watching that interview, he's really not going to be bothered with retirement in 4 years from now, or 3.25 years from now, 3 3/4. He's more than likely ready for kicking back and relaxing. Just by the way he was doing those stumbling and speaking on a political term language, it sounded like the exhausted stuff that he's been doing this entire time. So I get and I get it. I get the whole man, come on now, man. We got to do this, man. This is our job, man. And come on, it, bro. And talking like, hey. No, and I understand that. I grew up with that ever since I was a young kid and started partying, so to say. I grew up with the Damn the Man crowd, which technically had a more deeper purpose, which was to legalize marijuana usage. But whatever angle they went with, it was always a lot of, hey man, yo dude, hey bro, come on bro, dude, you know, and that was always backing up with whatever comment that they were trying to make, in order for me and anybody else who was listening to them understand them, and actually maybe be persuaded along with them into thinking, don't be controlled by the government, live free, and, smoke a little grass if you want. But most importantly, live free and just hang loose and be cool. That was very common back in the day. And Biden is sort of talking like he's from that day, and I get it. He's rock and roll. I mean, he was, it's all rock and roll, But coming from this little man's point of view, this nobody from San Antonio, he needs to be a little bit more careful, because that's only going to go so far, That's a personality thing. And we elected him because we got tired of the personality. It was irrelevant as to whether or not he looked socialist or communist or whatever-ish, senior citizen-ish. It was irrelevant. He was chosen just to be a president, not necessarily be the greatest thing on TV. That was the reason why he was elected. So he's gonna go on with that, and I get it. But I'm hoping that he reverts to more of the professionalism, and again, that's just this nobody's point of view, this one guy out of a bajillion people, one guy out of 1.5 million just in the San Antonio area alone, I hope he doesn't take it too far, and I hope that he actually just goes into being a president that we could really we'd really like to see. And that's pretty much it right there as far as this particular thing. And I got another one coming up, and it's going to be a huge mess because it concerns the trial that Google, Facebook, and Twitter was on. It was a mess, and I'm about to talk about it in the next video. But for right now, that was this no guy from San Antonio point of view on the Biden press conference. If there's anything to take note of out of this particular testimony, it's that it's from a neutral point of view. It's as things are, as opposed to the prediction of how things are going to go horribly wrong, and how it's just a bad thing, a bad omen, and you're doomed. We're all doomed, and it's again, this is just a common sense from a common grounds perspective, because nobody else is doing that. Everybody's doing this doomsday crap. So I hope that this is something that appeals to you the way it does to me whenever I hear somebody talking on common sense, on common ground. Love it, and hope that you did too. Y'all take care. Be safe this weekend. Don't forget, there's still a pandemic out there. There's still a airborne virus out there. Okay? And this is not to... The mask is not to so much stop it, even though it can be used as such. If you spray disinfectant on a breathable cloth, breathing in disinfectant air, once again, it's just another safety thing. And hope you guys get to experience a great weekend and a safe one. And see you next time. Y'all take care. Remember, the vaccines are out for everybody on Monday. So good luck. Y'all take care. Chris with Chris Comments out.